welcome back. Hope you're doing well and that today is going to bring many blessings for you, or tonight it's going to bring some understanding of yourself and your life and the world around you. Today is a warmer day. It's starting to feel like spring a little bit more here in Canada. There's still snow on the ground, but I haven't had to light the fire today, so that's new. And you can hear lots of the blackbirds in the background, so they've come back for the year, which is awesome. So I'm gonna get started with responding to your comments from my last video. Thank you so much for writing to me. I really appreciate it. And once I'm finished responding to your comments, we'll get into today's video. It's going to be another card reading. I'm really enjoying introspecting on those at the moment and channeling through the information, so I'm excited for that. So, Tej says, how nice to get a mention, Kim. Thanks for being cosmic and keeping it real. Greetings from Morecambe. Oh, I've been to Morecambe. Yeah, I remember it there when I was a kid. Well, hello to you there in Morecambe, Tej. So Melissa Simic says, you are such an inspiration and exactly what the world needs more of. Thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for having the courage and bravery to be honest and truthful and devoted to the direction your soul beckons you to. Thank you. Yeah, the bravery part is the part that I can agree with. It takes guts, it takes bravery, but the other stuff, I'm still working on it. I guess what I mean to say is I still don't fully know exactly where it is that I'm supposed to go, but I just follow my day-to-day notion and it takes me there, so I'm grateful, very grateful. This was such an inspirational video, like all your other ones. You are my life mentor and guide, and I am so grateful to have come across your channel. I feel so much better after your videos and all your advice I take upon myself to action. No one thus far has been able to do that. So to you I say that you are an inspiration, a light leader, and a prophet of pure love. I love you. Thank you for all you do and for being your genuine self. You are strong. I see it. You are the example. I send you so much love, healing, light, and protection. Thank you, Melissa. Really appreciate that. I'm a little bit lost for words, but I'll just say that I'm grateful to be in this position that I'm in, where I can have a platform and speak to you all, because there's times where I really doubt this path that I'm on and this journey, and only goes to stand for more reason that I'm doing something right, I'm doing something good when I receive a message like that. And you must be too, to be where you're at, to be as aware of yourself and be able to share love with other people like that. So I thank you. There's more I could say, so I'll just not continue to waffle for now. Stephanie Rhiannon, I can feel that you are a pure, genuine, authentic soul. I appreciate your expression. Thank you. Yo soy Divina Conciencia, Isabel. I said that wrong, I'm sure. I love your videos and your loving energy. Thank you for the beautiful service you do for the divine light and for all of us as a collective. Much love and light to you, sister. And to you, sister. It's a very interesting feeling for me to feel that love and really take it in, because it makes me realize that I still got some layers yet that I'm to let go of when it comes to receiving praise, you know. And I'm super grateful and thankful for it, but at the same time I'm wanting to make sure I stay not just humble but authentic, in as far as not thinking that I, just because you guys are enjoying my content, not letting it get to a space where I know that I've still got work to do, you know. I've still got a lot of work to do in my life. We all do. But the point isn't about thinking of all the things we've got yet to do. It's more about appreciating these moments together of joy and love and gratitude. You know, there's so much of that to bask in, and I think that was the lesson from the last video, is to bask in that feeling, bask in that connectedness, and not look toward all the things that we've yet to do and accomplish and overcome and heal. So, trying to balance that. Gray Marsh says, thank you so much, Kim, for the guided Akashic activation and this upload. As a reminder, I never felt so much more in my own field. It was lovely to be reminded again how much love there really is. Megan. Really appreciate you, Megan. Thank you. That feeling of being in your own field, it's probably the best feeling there is, and sharing your field with someone else, but in that balanced place in you, it is one of the best feelings. I agree. Hearts to you, KB. Matrix Wizard. Oh, Matrix Wizard. I clicked off it. I don't have internet in here, so I have to be careful not to click off. So that made sense, especially dealing with this last year. I've been having some disturbing nightmares, so just hearing some positive words and your calming voice really helped to take just a little time and meditate on something positive for a change. Thank you. Grateful to provide that calming space for you in some way, Matrix. Grateful you could tap into it yourself as well. That's all part of that's the main part of doing any kind of healing work or sacred work, is you're doing 90% of the work. I'm just 10%. Guiding you there in a way, you know, so you're doing it yourself. Thank you, Shai, Barath, Jimmy, your ideas, your mind, beautiful all. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Sapphire, I resonated with this reading a lot. It seems like what you share is exactly what I need to hear, even if it's not the most comfortable to come to terms with. Yeah, I feel you on that. You know, it's not always the most comfortable to look at ourselves and integrate the information that we need to integrate and understand on deeper levels. I agree with you. It takes a good balance of mind, heart and gut to kind of get in that space where you're listening to all parts of you, so that you're not just stuck in one space, so to speak. Amy Jones, thank you for this. I appreciate you too. Oh, sister, made me smile with pure love, feeling so blessed. Thank you. I love you. I love you too. Thank you for sharing your love and blessed, bright energy. I appreciate you all, and so now in this space, going to call in the sacred in whatever way you feel called to do that. For me, I'm just imagining some white light around this space, just kind of cleansing it with like a type of mist or smoke, and coming into this sacred circle together, really just basking in that connection again that I was mentioning previously with some of those lovely comments. When you come into this space, choose to be as gentle with yourself as possible, and we'll get started. So the Archangel animal deck is what I'm going to use to begin, set us off on the right foot. I heard a really interesting creation story. I read an interesting creation story by a grandmother this morning, and it goes something like this. Animals were put here on earth before us, and they were so content with everything that they asked Source Creator for something to look after, something to kind of do, so to speak, on a daily basis. They were content, but somewhat looking to evolve more. And so the Creator decided to make these beings that were like children to the Source Creator and to the animals, because they couldn't fend for themselves. They didn't have large teeth or big claws, and they were very much naked to the world and not as well equipped to deal with it as the animals were. And so the animals looked after the humans. They showed them where to get their food from. They cared for them in ways that were not always seen by the humans, but the animals amongst them knew just how much support they provided for the humans. And I've always said, actually myself personally, that if animals weren't here on planet Earth with us, I wouldn't want to imagine it as much. That would be kind of sad, actually. So anyway, what happened in this creation story is that humans grew and grew and grew in population, and they started not really listening to the animals anymore. So back at this time in creation story, they could speak, they could converse with the animals and receive light codes from them. And I still think to this day we're receiving light codes from them. That's kind of what this deck is all about, Archangel Animal. Really appreciate the messages in this one. So this is going to be a good shuffle. But the creation story was talking about the fact that humans started to not really listen to the animals anymore, and they wanted to grow. They wanted to have more food than what they needed. They wanted to have more things than what they needed. And they started killing the animals themselves and just taking whatever they wanted, kind of thing. And Source Creator saw this and decided that, well, we're going to take some of these animals into spirit now, and the only way that humans are going to be able to communicate with animals is through their spirit animal, because it's going to be a bit of a different world now that they're not necessarily listening to nature. The animals are going to be fearful of humans, and they're just not going to be able to connect as easily with them. But we will provide a spirit animal for those that are looking for this guidance, for this connection, for this steady road that the animals provide for us. And so that's what they did, and the animals still continue to be here for us, but we might not necessarily hear them in the same way that we maybe once back in the day used to. Although some of you, I know, can communicate with animals. I feel like I can. I'm sure many of you do feel like that. And that's only going to continue to grow throughout our creation story, throughout our evolutionary story. So I guess the moral there is just that we're coming back to that space now where we respect animals again, and they're only going to open up themselves to us even more the more we treat them with love and respect. And that was actually posted on International Women's Day, just the day before last. And what a better way to celebrate International Women's Day than to look to Gaia and show her more respect and celebrate everything that she does for us, including all of her flora and fauna and animals, birds. So I have a card for us. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so we've got horse. First thing that comes to mind with horses is that they're very spiritual, very psychic, and very strong animals. They're stronger than humans. That's why they've been used as these workhorses for so many years. And back in the day, back in Victorian times and that kind of stuff, we were using horses to do everything for us. And were we able to connect with them? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think maybe there was a respect for horses we had for them in general as a collective, but nowadays I think it goes beyond respect. With some of us, we feel a deep connection to them. Psychically, they're to me they feel like very emotional creatures. They really respond to your emotions, to your energy. So it says, care for others and let them be free. Care for others and let them be free. So what's coming through with that notion is this idea that we stay in our field, we be as balanced and bright and loving as we can be, and we don't reach too far out of our field in order to get someone's attention, in order to help someone out. We just care for them. We care for them because we're caring for ourselves, and that's going to have enough of an effect on them that we can feel like we're helping out, we're helping humanity, we're helping our friends, our family. Take a look at your thoughts when you're around other people. If you find yourself going into a bit of a negative tone in your thoughts, the best way that you can help that person, if you're having some negative thoughts toward them, is to reframe those thoughts. Try and become aware of it, So if you're having a negative thought, be like, oh, okay, so I just had a thought about how I don't really want to blah blah blah, or I don't really know if this person blah blah blah, or etc., whatever it is. You become aware of it. Oh, okay, I just had that thought. Next would be to transform it somehow. So it's like, okay, well, what would be a better feeling thought that I could have for myself and towards this person? And just choose something that resonates. Oh, you know what? I really care about you. I really care about everything you've done for me. And I can see that you're trying, and I love you for trying. And I might not understand everything about you, but there's a deep level of connection that I can sense in you. And I know that you care just as deeply as I do. Yeah, that kind of thing. And then the rest is not up to you, what happens. You don't need to worry about it. As long as you are holding those good thoughts toward the people that are around you. And I know that it's especially difficult when we get triggered or something happens that's uncomfortable with someone. Our first thought is to want to go to rage or anger, upsetness. But seeing beyond that, having the clear vision that this unicorn has here, is just penetrating right to the psychic. It's going straight to the root, the energetic root. Energy first. What's the energy trying to tell you about this person? Look a bit deeper and call out your own thoughts, your own psychic thoughts, because they're the things that like 90% of our subconscious mind is just turning its wheel, and we have to catch that wheel, otherwise our actions are going to follow that wheel, and that's not what we want. We want to call out some of those subconscious programming stuff that we have towards the community, towards our family, friends, acquaintances, strangers, toward ourselves. And if we're struggling with that, then we can call in the Archangels Mary and Christiel. At the bottom here it has Archangels Mary and Christiel. So I think it's going to be useful to check out the horse in the booklet here, because it also has some really interesting star origins that this author Diana Cooper talks about, kind of where they've come from, just like us. They've come from somewhere that brings with them their own gifts. So let's see. So, horse, care for others and let them be free. Archangels Mary and Christiel. Horses incarnate from Lacume. Lacume? Apologies for my pronunciation if it's incorrect. The ascended aspect of Sirius. And these elegant, refined, and magnificent creatures are all fifth dimensional. Their sole contract is to serve humanity, while in return we agree to look after them, honor them, and let them be free. These beautiful animals have a huge heart centers, and there has always been a strong bond of love between them and humans. They are great healers and have a special closeness with children. They are linked with Angel Mary, who pours her divine healing light through them. Recently, when enough people raised their frequency, Archangel Christiel entered this universe through his cross-shaped stargate in Lyria, and poured divine feminine light through the moon into the causal chakras of all. Wow. I'm going to read that again. Recently, when enough people raised their frequency, Archangel Christiel entered this universe through his cross-shaped stargate in Lyra, and poured divine feminine light through the moon into the causal chakras of all. So you have at least 4 energy bodies, and your causal is part of your etheric layer, it's part of your auric field. So it's interesting that poured this feminine light through all of the causal chakras. It affected everyone, but particularly the sensitive, refined, high-frequency horses, and it reactivated their higher mission which is to bring Earth into divine perfect balance. Guidance. This card calls you to expand your heart center and focus on your noble qualities and aspirations. You are reminded that in order to honor others and let them be free, you must first respect yourself and set yourself free. So tune in to the great universal angel Mary and let her wonderful, healing, divine feminine light bathe you and dissolve the old. Then take decisions that chime with you and light you up. Visualize the full moon or look at it if you can. Be aware of Archangel Christiel's shimmering, milky white light extending to your third eye, and a magnificent pure white unicorn walking along the light to touch you. This will start to activate your own personal great soul qualities. Watch a higher path unfold. That was a really positive message, especially helpful if you're dealing with some self-doubt and some self-criticism and just a general feeling of not knowing exactly where to go, what's your next step kind of thing. So I would say that if we just visualize that unicorn energy, that horse energy, just kind of visualize it in front of us, just sending us those rays of light, knowing that we are being upgraded, and this upgrade is moving out all of the old junk and making way for lots of new things to come in. So I really like what he was saying about taking care of yourself first and being aware of your own heart center first, before trying to help other people or get involved. Just be aware of your thoughts, really. Be aware of your heart center and connect in with these archangels if you like. You can do that now, just calling in the divine light of Archangel Mary and Christiel. Thank you for holding this space of light and inner standing so that we may go deeper and feel supported and connected in doing so. I'm going to finish with some channeled light language, and this is going to go beyond your logical mind, your need to try and fix everything. It's just going to allow you to come into your body, into the present moment, into your heart center. It's simply a language of love, and you can tune into the frequency of love as much or as little as you like, but the intention is to tune into it as much as possible and just connect in with the gut and the mind through the heart. Kuana mehia suatia kana kareshero kono maya kana shero toshona mayaka ero semana e koroshona. Just honoring all of the animals in our life, all around us, the magnificent work they're doing for this planet, the crystal grids, the sacred geometry that is a part of their auric field that helps to balance our auric field out. Yeah, when you see an animal, you not only get a rush of feelings and emotion if you're a sensitive, empathic, spiritual being, but you also get an upgrade in your own field. It's like they kind of push out any of the things that aren't love and bring through more of that love for you, so that if you're feeling a little bit angsty or a little bit uncomfortable, they bring you back down to the earth. Yeah, that's what animals are kind of here to do, is to remind you that there's a simple way to live and enjoy life. It doesn't have to be all of this glam and glitz that humans like to make themselves about and separate themselves from. Nature, we want to start connecting more with ourselves and seeing ourselves as a part of nature. I had this conversation with Eddie the other day. He was telling me that when he looked up the word nature in a couple dictionaries, it doesn't include humans. That word doesn't, in our dictionaries, doesn't include humans. And of course, there's going to be other dictionaries out there that do, but I think that's testament to the fact that we've separated ourselves from nature. We think that we're separate, but when you get in touch with the elements, the 5 elements, you start to understand that those 5 elements that are connected with water, fire, earth, air, and ether that are all around us in nature are also what make up who we are, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, as many ways as you can think of. And we're not separate from nature. We're very much part of her. But we have separated ourselves. And it kind of takes away an understanding of who we are at a deeper level. You know, one of the easiest ways to control people is to take away their knowledge of who they are at the base level frequency. Like I'm not just talking about not knowing, you know, a couple ancestors ago, like where you're from or where they lived, or just in your family line ancestry, but I'm talking about the base understanding of where we came from as human beings. Evolution doesn't fully cover everything. There's a missing link we know about, and that missing link is being uncovered now. But not understanding how we were formed, where we came from, all of that stuff, all of that knowledge is there, but it's hidden. And we have to get in touch with our star ancestors in order to bring through that transformation of knowing who we are. You know, often if someone asks me like who I am, I kind of freeze and just like, actually I'm not sure how to answer that question. And even though I know who I am, I think what's missing is a collective knowing of who we are. Like where do humans really come from, you know, that feeling? And according to our dictionary, it's not from nature. I mean, that might be a stretch, but it's kind of interesting that we're not included in that word for some, because it's very confusing. We are from nature, and a lot of things are gonna be uncovered to us. So I would suggest that if you're looking to know who you are, start really asking those questions internally and maybe working with your ancestry. You know, I know there's so much knowledge and information that's been lost, but the memory is there in the Akashic records. The memories are there. You can explore them in meditation. You can explore where you come from. You can look at the origins of humanity. Please, let's all pledge to do that at some point this next week. Just go into meditation and just see what comes up for us when we look at the origin of humanity, where we came from. I think we would have some amazing discoveries come through. So feel free to share anything that's coming through now, but otherwise I'll probably just close again with some final light song.